Hey everybody, it's Everett back here with it from Hood Time Welding today. Today we actually have an aluminum project, and the nice thing about this is the aluminum looks pretty damn clean, and we're going to be putting new stuff on, so we'll see if I can get my hand back at aluminum a little bit. I'm always complaining I don't get to practice enough on newer stuff, and I'm always getting old crappy stuff, so this will be a nice change of pace. So all this one is I want to say it's a stand for a ramp. Um, and what we need to do is they need about 8 inches added on here, plus they want a base going across between the two. So what I was just looking at is the angle. So with it flat down, we've got 65 here, and we got 24, 24 there. So I think it's supposed to be a 90 when you add the two together. So, no, sorry. What we need to do is first, we're going to have to cut these off flush to get the, so that we can put our extra tube on, because if we put our extra tube on now, it's going to be sitting cockeyed like this. So we need to cut these flush, and we're just going to be buttoning an extra tube on the end. And then once we do that, that's when we're going to have to figure out that extra angle, or we're going to have to work on getting that extra angle so that we can get those those two angles we were talking about. But so it'll be a little bit interesting, make me think a little bit, which I never mind. But yeah, that's what we got today. In the future, though, I've got some exciting news. We got some more. We've got at least one big project that is a definite, and we have two more that I've got out for estimates. That if everything goes right and we get everything, it's going to end up being, like, for me, like 2 months worth of work, or a month and a half, because there's a lot of work going into all three of them. Like I said, I got one of them definitely, which will be a 2 to 3 week project for me. And then we'll find out about the other two. We're waiting on some answers, but we'll get into that later. So let's go ahead and get started. So there we go, we got the ends on. Yes, I know I had to do some grinding on my welds. They're getting better. I just right at the end there, I changed the tip because it seems to be sputtering a little bit. I don't know if it's catching in the tip, but good excuse. Aluminum and me just don't, I've never been an aluminum guy. I can weld it, but it's not awesome. So all I did for finding out the angle is just put this on the pieces we cut off and drew it on. I mean, you guys saw uh, trying to make things more difficult than they actually needed to be. I don't know what I was thinking. Like I said, I just used the stuff that was that I cut off, and that got me the angle that I needed. I thought it was a compound angle. I thought it went this way and tilted back, but it doesn't. It's just a one angle, so that actually made it easier. But yeah, aluminum and I don't know. Let's see if we can do a little better with that new tip. We still got to put the top on this, or the cross brace going across. Um, I don't think I explained it real well earlier. What I think it is I think they have a ramp in a pond, and their dog likes to swim in the pond, but the banks are real steep, so they put this out there so they can get up on it and come out. Or maybe it's the deck. I don't know. I'm not positive, but some kind of ramp for their dog. So they just needed it 6 to 8 inches higher, which I made these 6.5. The other tube's going to be with the tube added on. That's 1.5 inches, so that'll come out. 6. Yeah. That'll come out to 8 inches. And then they wanted something flat across the bottom. It's probably to keep it a little more stable. So we'll make them something that goes about 2 inches past on either leg, and it'll go all the way across one single piece. But yeah, I'm gonna go get that piece cut, and then we'll get it fit up on here, and we'll get it welded. There we go. Those welds turned out a lot better. That one, not so much. I got a little, but yeah. I hope I get more aluminum jobs. That way I can just keep playing with it. You saw I had to tweak it just a little bit to get the pads aligned here, but it's aluminum. It pulls a little. So, anyways, I know it's not an exciting job, nothing difficult. It's actually pretty easy. Just adding on, like I said, we added on 8 inches to the height, put the cross brace in between, or across the bottom. But stick with me because, like I said, I have at least the one big job for sure. It's Tuesday, and I'm going to get the metal in next Monday to get started on it. So we'll see. I don't know if that'll be the next video, if something pops up in between. But for right now, that's the plan right now, is to get started on that next big job. But any comments, questions, concerns, just saying hi, whatever. I love hearing from you. I try to answer you right away when I see it. Big thumbs up is always appreciated, and we'll catch you on the next one.